Hello boys, my name is Yoshi, and welcome back to my true finale video for my 100% blind playthrough of Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, the Donkey Kong Adventure DLC. In the previous video, we did all the ultimate challenges. They were pretty tough, and they probably were really annoying, so be sure to check those videos out if you haven't seen them already. But just like before, I am going to do a full 100% of ZMs and other stuff, but I'm also going to show the golden file off just to confirm we have 100%. So this will be our 100% confirmation of 100% completion video, just to confirm that I did indeed get 100%. Since we have a bit more time, we are going to go over these hearts at least. And maybe even more stuff, because some of these are really cool. So first we have Shipwreck Cove. Then we have the Twin Totems. This was a puzzle I had to do early on. Then we have Side Eyes Sanctuary. I think that's Sposs's hideout. Music Skills. Another puzzle. The Crab Yard. Creepy. Jungle Pellets. This is the intro screen we got to see when we first went into the menu. I've showed you that a bunch of times, I think, already. The Climbers, which is this big tower or something. Then we have Dried on the Vine. This is a massive water puzzle we had to do. That was quite crazy. Then we had the Blahana Mati Temple. You could say that again. This is the place where we fought Rabbid Khan for the first time. It's also where the source of his bad bananas came from. Then we have the Old Smuggler's Caves. This is basically the dungeon. So it's actually called the Old Smuggler's Caves. And then we have just kind of a funny thing, Jump Rabbids Jump. Just a bunch of rabbits jumping. I think you can see this in the oral somewhere. And number 12 is just the final showdown to battle with Rabbid Khan in the same ocean where it took place. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And if we select, we can also quickly go through each of these as well. So we'll go ahead and do that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Then we have all the soundtracks. We have Welcome to the Island, Lagoon Promenade, Banana Battles, Reef Lovin', Beef on the Reef, Mid-Boss Melody, Jungle Jingle, Jungle Joust, Plunge in a Dungeon, Dungeon Dispute, Jungle Jamber, Requiem for a Khan, which I think is the final battle theme. I don't know. Anyways, I'm not viewing those because you can just view them whenever, if you ever 100% the game. And by the way, all these were the stuff we found from the chest, by the way. Then we have all the models. We have Rabbid Peach again with her slightly different weapon. We have Donkey Kong with his banana. We select one of these, we can move it around and zoom in or zoom out, all sorts of stuff. So maybe I'll actually take a look at some of these just for fun. Then we have Rabbid Cranky. This is a really nice pose for him. Then we have the Tropical Collector, the first of the new enemies we see in this DLC, carrying a washing machine part. Then we have the Tropical Ziggy, the very first enemy we fought. It's actually a Ziggy, but it's the tropical variety though. Then we have the Tropical Smasher in a very interesting pose. He's smashing a different net, and you can kind of get a look at this from a different angle. Then we have the Tropical Hopper, looking like he's about to jump. Then we're gonna go to Side Eye. This is the first boss. He is waiting in his mirror, and you can take a look at his back a bit. Has this big mace that he swings. Then we have the Tropical Buckler. The Buckler, the Donkey Kong Adventure variety of the Buckler enemy that we've met already. Decent pose. And then we have the Tropical Summoner looking like he's about to summon something. We can also see that he has the heart on his back, so he's basically this game's version of a support, but now he also summons enemies, though he doesn't heal as much. And then we have the second boss, Finn, looking like he means business. Can zoom out a bit and get a view of that octopus. Yeah, he has an octopus on his hammer as well, which is pretty cool. And then we have the Tropical Smuggler, the second new type of enemy, which is actually just a smasher, but he's trying to carry bad bananas to Rabbid Khan. Then we have two versions of things that include Rabbid Khan. So first we have Rabbid Khan himself with a bright background and this massive hammer that he has. This is from his second battle. And then we have Island Diorama, which if we go here, we can see that it just has all the characters here. We can zoom in a bit. That's some closer views of the game. Just kind of having fun. And yeah, that's all the museum. Hope I did a good job showcasing that. But anyway, here's the next important part. So, I'll show you my final skill builds just for fun. Also, I should probably, so I didn't know I didn't have that. So I guess I'm going to set Cranky up like this. So, yeah. These are my final builds, basically, that I got after finishing all the other stuff. If you follow these builds, you should have no problem finishing the Ultimate Challenge, honestly. Alright, now, the main important thing I wanted to show is the fact that I actually got every weapon in this game as well. In fact, you get so much money that you could just buy all the weapons without having to grind much. For some reason you do need grinding. There is a somewhat early grind spot you can do, but it's on, I believe, free or something. I don't know. I'm not going to say much about it though. Anyways, we have all of Donkey Kong's bananas. They're all collected. I'm not going to go over every single one like I did the last time. I am going to still keep my crit weapons though, because I actually do want that. Then we have all DK's ground pound weapons. I guess I will mention what they are. So, he has a Blanarine and and then Peach, of course, has her regular bastard, just like she did in the base game. And then a Sentry. Pretty much exactly mimics what she has in the base game. And then Cranky, of course, has barrel boats. I like this one especially, with the oil barrel, basically a reference to the original Donkey Kong, which is nice. And then we have the boom bow. Nice crossbow. Looks like these final two ones look like planes, which is pretty cool. And then, oh yeah, okay, I did miss something. And that's because if we go back here, we'll see that the secondary weapons are collected. If we go back here, we see that there's still 3 weapons missing. These are the ones I saved, so now I'm going to buy these. And with that, we've officially collected every single weapon. Every single weapon in the game is ours, so now nobody can dispute that we haven't missed 100% now, huh? Obviously, it's not required for 100%, but it's just a bonus thing I thought would do for fun. And now for the final part. We already saw that all the challenges will complete, but we'll go ahead and show you that they are indeed all complete. But if we go to chapters, we will see that I did say I was going to get every gold on every chapter, and this is the time that we are going to do it. So, we got pretty much every gold except for this one, and that's because I wanted to save this video to use as a good outro. I will say I was really close. I was really freaking close to getting this battle done on the first try, but I just happened to get a very unlucky pattern. This battle actually has a lot of RNG in it. It's kind of annoying. So I'm going to show you what I think is the best strategy for me to do. Anyway, we'll skip the cutscene. Most of the strat is not going to change at all. The big difference is I'm doing a specific setup that I think will make it easiest to still win the battle. So, let's just get right into it. So the first turret is probably the simplest. In fact, the way I have this set up is this is always going to be the same way. By the way, we don't want to defeat the enemies necessarily right away. This is actually part of the setup. Because if I defeat them too early, then Cranky might actually, this might actually mess it up. And I know this sounds silly, but if you defeat both of these enemies in one turn, then Rabbid Clan actually will summon more henchmen. And that's very bad, and we do not want that. So we specifically set up Cranky in this spot. In fact, we're probably just going to keep him here. Just simple. Then Donkey Kong will do his AoE. And we'll do different things depending on whether it crits. If it didn't crit, we'll probably just use either Minky to attack something or Sentry. But if ever, however, we did get the best luck that I wanted, which was no one got crit, no one got super attacked, and Peach and the enemy did get crit. So now I can do the setup that I wanted to do. So first, we're gonna have Peach focus on our stuff. Other than that, not a lot is gonna change. In fact, this is gonna be mostly the opposite of what we did before. In the previous battle, when we did this battle, we simply just focused on doing extra attack setups, and that was that. We didn't do anything else to Rabbid Clan or anything else. We pretty much just put tears in specific spots, and that was that. Nothing else happened. But now, we're gonna Stink Eye, and we're gonna do a big combo attack. Okay, I actually did that wrong. I keep forgetting where to go on this battle, but promise that I know where to do. This music is kind of weird, by the way. Sometimes it just has random silence in it, but it is what it is. I like how I said the first turn was consistent immediately upon saying that I get added to me. And unfortunately, we cannot skip this cutscene, so we have to see it every time. Alright, I'm still going to move Cranky there. This part's still not going to change. The reason why I have to move him to a different spot is because I do want to at least defeat one enemy. If I don't defeat at least one enemy, that can be a bit of a problem. But there are different strategies you can do depending on which enemies survive. It's just, you might take a bit more damage than normal. Alright. I'm gonna do what I did before, just to stay consistent. Okay, cool, we got the crit again, so we can do the same strategy that we were trying to do before, except this time we'll move so we don't get a little attack the way we did before. In fact, I can just do that with Cranky now instead of waiting. So we're just gonna have him move, but this time he's gonna be against the wall here so that when he gets attacked, he gets knocked back. By the way, I thought there was a bit of random energy to who Rabbid Clan attacks, and I guess that is partially true. Rabbid Clan does tend to choose whoever thinks is a target, but there is one outlier. If he's in a direct likeliness, i.e. very close to one of your friends, then Rabbid Clan will automatically hit one of them no matter what. That part never changes. However, after the second turn, he kind of just picks whoever. So depending on who he pushes, it can get really bad. Anyways, that push is intentional because by setting that up, Donkey Kong doesn't actually take any damage whatsoever. The real randomness, though, comes from the turn segment. So there's a few things you can do depending on whether or not you get honeyed or not. Ideally, you never want to see honey. Normally, it'd actually be an instant reset if you were trying to go for a better setup for a speed run. But because I don't care for that, what I'm going to do instead is I'm still going to leave this feature around, but I'm going to move Peach to be here instead. The only thing that's going to change is Rabbid Cranky will just survive an extra turn. Of course, this kind of leaves me to the question, though, of do I sentry the enemy or do I not? I think I will, but I'm just going to wait a turn just to make sure. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to basically move Cranky as close as he can possibly get, but not move Cranky himself. Donkey Kong will clear hit there, Cranky's dumb effect or whatever. Oh yeah, it's honey. So he's gonna clear that out. And Cranky will attack. This happens the same way every time. And then we will immediately attack again, and this will automatically make the boss go to phase 2. And I'm gonna put Cranky like this. That way, if he gets knocked back, he still remains about the same spot. Doesn't really matter what will happen. And then, just like that, Rabbid Cranky is gonna now do his super shield thing. And normally, Peach will actually just dash this other enemy out, but she had to waste the dash to use a sentry thing. Also, I did kind of make an error. I think I was supposed to normally defeat that shield on me, although I could be wrong, because I was kind of in a weird range check, so maybe I wasn't in range and it wouldn't have mattered. By the way, normally what would happen is Peach would actually just do her sentry thing on the very first turn, but because that didn't work, we'll just defeat the remaining enemies so that only Rabbid Cranky is present, and then we're going to attack. Okay, that was actually the worst possible we could have gotten. Alright, well, I guess we can make this work. But I'm trying to figure out what to do. Okay, well, this part still is the same. Or maybe not. He's not in the right spot. Or a speech. Okay, who am I gonna crit? I'm gonna crit this enemy. Normally I have Cranky get picked up by Pond, but because we did it incorrectly, we don't have the setup to keep these enemies out. But I should probably at least dash them. Not do nothing. Anyways, Rabbid Peach is going to move here. This time she won't be in a bad spot. Also, I kind of put her in a bad spot. I should have just put her to the right. So there's a specific reason why you do that in specific spots. Because in case you haven't noticed, Rabbid Cranky is both a mixed cheater and just kind of annoying. The reason why I don't call him a super mixed cheater, that's because he actually has a specific setup where also, I don't really care what happens here. As long as this enemy goes in the right spot, it'll be fine. I initially did this battle a bit differently, but I think since it doesn't really matter where we go, we'll just do that first, and then defeat these enemies, just so we don't have these enemies doing their turns. So, yeah, there we go. Normally, though, Cranky would actually be already close by, and then you can just be picked up by Donkey Kong and thrown into the next area. And Rabbid Peach would already be done with hers battle as well, but because we got bad luck, that didn't work. And now you can kind of see why I don't like this battle. Most of the battles in this mode are actually fairly straightforward, but for some reason the final boss is just actually kind of annoying. Simply because this first push is always guaranteed, but who he chooses is random. So depending on the setup, you have to do different strategies depending on what you do. So I have a strategy normally where I actually just use Cranky to move and get the banana stuff done and just finish it like that. And then nothing else happens and we just win the battle from there. But because I got unlucky moves with our other characters and did other stuff, we kind of have to change our plan up a bit based off of what happens in the first part. We do not have range to hit that enemy, unfortunately. Oh, by the way, if you are going to use Hairy Eyes and other stuff, make sure you do them as part of your turn to hit enemies as a guaranteed attack setup. If you do not hit the enemies like that, then you're guaranteed to just... Also, I was considering whether or not to do the second one first, but... now it's severed. Anyways, you can kind of see the hard part about this. This battle has a lot of randomness to it that can sometimes just make the battle be set up to where it's going to be guaranteed to not be a 5-turn battle. And then depending on push luck, you might make it take longer. Unless you know what you're doing specifically and set everything up perfectly, which obviously I'm not the best at the game, so obviously I cannot set everything up perfectly all the time. And by the way, there's a strategy normally where somebody could just already be on top of the bananas. But otherwise, if you're wondering why I'm talking so much confusion despite looking at other stuff, well, that's because normally this setup is way different and usually way easier to do. Anyway, I'll defeat this enemy now, so we have one less enemy to worry about. And now we pass the turn because we have to wait for more enemies to appear. But you can kind of see why I don't like this battle. It's kind of annoying for a few reasons. One, kind of just decides it if he picks too many the same character multiple times, it's going to be an immediate reset. Because that character might just and there's not a lot you can do about it. But if you mess up setups or don't have the crit weapons that I have from earlier, or get crits with those weapons, then it might be a reset again, because you won't be able to do anything. Because, like, those summoners you see right there, if they survive, they'll actually attack with their own effect. And it's just really bad. Okay, Cranky, thankfully, I think Cranky has a guaranteed setup here. If we move Cranky here, no matter what happens, he will never be moved to a bad spot, so it's guaranteed to finish the battle in turn 3. Although, this is actually kind of one of our weaker battle attempts we've done. Normally, the battle is actually doable in 5 turns, and is normally pretty easy to do in this way, but because we got so unlucky, we have to do this a bit differently. I'm just gonna pick up this cover out of the way. But otherwise, a lot of this is kind of Nightmare RNG, because most of the first setup is very consistent. Rabbid Clan will always push someone no matter what. There's nothing you can do about that, but who he picks is completely up to RNG. He also seems to like prioritizing people based off of where they are in the central spot. Ash also has a lot of range, so even if you're not in range of it, you'll still do a lot of other stuff. And these summoners can also push too. That's actually one of the reasons why we try to take them out. Because if they push, then it could be really bad. But I'm not going to worry about that because we got a next turn battle. We're done. But yeah. By the way, I'm a bit annoyed that we were this close to getting it. We almost actually did this in 6 turns. Our characters were about to do it, but we got so unlucky with the setups that first time that it ended up just being 7-turn battle. At that point, we didn't get gold because of that, which is kind of annoying, but, well. With that, though, we have successfully completed all the chapters with a golden medal, meaning we basically have the maximum percent completed. The reason why I was annoyed, though, is because normally you could do that battle in 5 turns with that method, but because of that RNG, we had to just take a 6-turn battle. That's actually surprisingly tight, and also a lot trickier than the final boss of the main game, because, one, you don't have, a busted setup like you do in that to just annihilate the final boss in like 3 turns or something. There's also a lot more to do in that battle, so in general it's a much harder final boss battle than the main game. Yeah, I said it, the main game final boss is actually kind of, Quincy, you know what to do. Like, he's kind of pathetic, but this battle is actually kind of tough. You do need a little bit more fun into it. Anyways, the final thing to show is that if we go to our file, we will indeed see that, yes, our file is golden. This is the final confirmation of 100% completion that we are looking for, which means, yep, we have succeeded in getting 100% complete of this file, which means we are now done with Rabbids Kingdom Battle for good. I'm not going to play this game again. It was quite long, but it was fun. It was definitely a nice chill. I can say this was definitely a nice, easy game. For once, after all the other stuff we had. But we're not going to have any rust from these kinds of games because Sparks of Hope is next, and it has even more DLC, so it's going to be even longer. But it's where we're going to go next. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Enjoy, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next playthrough when it appears. Bye!